Hey everybody, this is Bellagio. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, I want to talk about team preparation for the upcoming KIZUNA. And this KIZUNA, we will have Super Boss. So, I took a look into the KIZUNA details, and you will see you can actually click in there and see what gimmicks that you have to face, how many bosses you have to play. So there are going to be two normal boss, the DEX green color of Luffy and Law, and another normal boss, the side color, the yellow color. Then we have two super bosses, the strength version super boss and the int version of super boss. Now I have already came up with team preps, which we'll go over them one by one. So let's jump into it. The first one that we are going to talk about. Let me get rid of the phone screen real quick. There you go. Okay. So the first team that we are going to talk about is the DEX version of normal boss. Okay. So as you can see in the table here, I put on the left hand side DEX Lulu and not Lulu, DEX Luffy and Law, and stage 2, stage 3, and this right here is preference, meaning if you bring characters with fighter, driven, or cerebral, they will have 15 turns special charge reduction at the beginning. Switch effects, all those stuff. So it's just a preference. It's not a must, of course. And then I put down weakness, meaning at the final stage, stage 3, cerebral will be boost if you're using cerebral. So it's kind of give you a hint that you kind of want to use cerebral team to play. And then these are the important gimmicks that I think we're gonna have to be dealing with at each stage. Okay, and then on this column here is the full batch team. FB means full batch, so if you have full batch team, you can follow this. However, if you don't have full batch team, I have also another column right here talking about non-full batch team, and we are using the Flamingo, this guy as a friend captain. Okay, so that being said, let's jump into this. The full batch team. If you have full batch team, then don't worry. You put everything according to this picture. You put the Flamingo as your captain, and then you put Bellamy, and you put Corazon, and then the other two could be any characters, especially Cerebral. You might want to put Cerebral in here, but it can be any characters, and the position can be switched except the captain, of course. You want to use Doflamingo as your captain. So position, no, not important. Support, not important. You can plug in any support you want. As long as you have these three, it's basically cover everything. Now, let's go through the gimmicks real quick. Stage 2, you have to deal with 6 turns of SFX, means silence. And you use Corazon Special. You want to use Corazon Special because he removed that SFX. And then another important thing is that he put RBS is Rainbow Shield, 3 turns, and that's gonna last until you go into stage 3. So that's another important thing. And then you want to use Dofi super special, not super cut. Dofi special. It could be yours or it could be friend captain Dofi special, so that he can remove burns, and your burns will be gone. And these details are just what he does in details. Corazon as well. The rest are just what he does in his special. And then because of Corazon special will give you empty slot, so you don't have to worry about block slot. Block slot will turn into empty slot because of Corazon special. 3 turns perfect barriers. You don't care about this. I don't care about this. Okay, just make sure you hit perfect. And then there's an interrupt. So if you activated Corazon special, he will change everything to empty slot. That means it changed slots, and therefore this will be triggered. So it will give you attack down if you have all the slot except empty, G, or bomb. So all the slot will have attack down 90%. However, Corazon give you empty slot, which means it is okay. So after you activated Corazon special and Dofi special, that should be good. Hit and then clear stage 2. Get into stage 3, you will be given 15 turns of despair. If you have Dofi as your captain, he will turn that despair to something. I don't remember exactly, but it's prevented. Don't worry. Then the next thing is the top row and middle row special bind. This you can get rid of special bind by using Dofi super type, which will be triggered when you activate a Corazon special, because he give you empty, and then the requirement for Dofi super type to be activated, he needs to obtain empty slot or G slot. So his super type should be ready to activate it by then. You activate it, you get rid of this 7 turn of top middle row special bind. How about special reverse? It's just 1 turn special reverse actually, so it's not that that's not that hard to get rid of. But we have Bellamy special. He reduced special by 1 turn, so he will take care of this. So activated Bellamy special, and then you get rid of that. You don't have to worry about 7 turns in sign bind, because you don't have any in or sign character, so don't worry about that. Then barrier, yeah, barrier 8 turns. Oh, I put Stussy. Actually, this could be could be bad, because Stussy is int, and if she's bind, then she will not be able to launch her special. So I'll need to figure that out later. But I mean, as I said, Stussy can be replaced. You can find any other characters that get rid of barriers. For example, Nami and Carina here get rid of the barriers, and she can be placed in there easily. Then the 3 times tap limit 4. I'm not sure if we are going to be okay with this, but so far I think 4 characters hit the stage 3 should still be fine. You can just use the top 4 to hit. But if at high level, maybe enemy has high HP at that point, we might have to rethink about this. Maybe we need to find something to get rid of this. But as of now, we don't need to worry about it too much. And then there's intimidation, slot boost reduced by 2 turns. So Bellamy will give you slot boost, but he gives you 3 turns. That means you have one turn left. And also Bellamy will take care of 6 turns of defense up. So that being said, if you have full batch, really you don't really need anything else but the 2, including yours and your friend captains, Doflamingo, and then the Corazon and Bellamy. So as I said, this game is not really free to play. It's if you willing to pay some money and open some pools, do some gacha, and if you win all the characters, yeah, it's gonna be easy. However, on the not too easy part, which is for those players who are not pay to win, those players who play smart and enjoy the game. So this would be a batch that I would recommend you to use. So look at this column here, Dofi as your friend captain, and then you use the captain. Your captain would be, if you have this guy, I hope you do, it's Lucy and Zoro versus. So use Lucy in this case because he boosts Cerebro, right? If you don't have him, you can use any strong Cerebro captains that you can find. Give you a lot of Cerebro boost attack, and his special, as you can see here, in here he's not that important. So you can replace him with anyone that gives you really high attack for Cerebro team. Okay, but this guy, these 3 are the key the key characters that I like to recommend you to use. Why? Because this guy is Frog Ribbit something, but I'm gonna call him Frog. If you use his special on stage 2, he will get rid of SFX, and then if you hit 3 perfects times, then the next turn, which is the turn that you entered stage 3, he will give you type boost. And if you read Doflamingo's special, he has a lot of things to do with type boost. For example, he extend type boost by 2 turns and then boost it further by 1.25. So you kind of want to have type boost on this stage when you activate Duffy, your friend Captain Duffy's special, right? So if you have type boost on stage 3, that's kind of like you are using Duffy's special to its full potential. Okay, so that's why I recommend to use this guy. He just fits perfectly, and he is quick, and he is he's not gonna be restricted by in and side bind. So he's quick and he's cerebral. He just fits perfectly fine. Then the next guy is Chopper. Chopper is gonna be he's gonna have some problem when he gets in here, but let's say because of this you can only tap 4. One of Chopper gets bind, that's fine, we don't care, and he's like, his attack is not that high anyway, so he's there to use his skill on stage 2. You use his skill, then he will take care of burns, and the most important thing is that he puts Rainbow Shield on the team for 3 turns, even though it's just 60% Oh, I found another guy. He's a Sentomaru. He puts 80% 3 turns. However, he does not remove burn though, so that's why I put Chopper here. So Chopper, he puts Rainbow Shield for 3 turns, and then he get rid of burns. And the important about Rainbow Shield 3 turns is it's hidden in Duffy's special. Again, see, if crew has attack base on Rainbow Shield, he give basically his special give attack base on Rainbow Shield 3 turn, but he himself does not apply Rainbow Shield to the team. So if Chopper apply Rainbow Shield on stage 2 and that gets carried over to stage 3, you activate a Duffy special. This will be meaningful. Yeah, this will have some meanings basically, and that's why I put Chopper in here. So when you get here, again, Duffy, your friend Duffy's ability will take care of 15 turns of despair. Sorry, come back to stage 2. We have Nami and Carina here to take care of block slot. I'm not sure. I think you should have the switch gauge of Nami and Carina should be full on stage 2. So you do their switch, it would probably switch everything. I mean, all your crewmates, your team, the whole team will have G slot, and G slot will take care of this slot change. I mean, because of G slot, it will not be reduced by 90%, and because it's G slot, it's going to activate Duffy super type. Okay. So that would be it, taking care of to stage 2. You will hit and you clear stage 2, gets into stage 3. Duffy will take care of 15 turns despair, and then activate this Duffy super type again, and then you can activate his special. So everything here should be activated automatically. And then you want to switch. One more thing, you want to have Nami here on stage 2 or at the very beginning, then you switch, then it will become Carina, then you use Carina here on stage 3. Carina special, she will take care of special reverse, she will take care of barriers, she will take care of defense up. She's basically very good. I really hope you have this character. So if you have these 3, you can really build a team to beat DEX Luffy and Law easily. And again, we're not sure that we really have to worry about this, but yeah. Maybe you can plug in someone that could give you off boost right here. That, I mean, 3 turns of off boost minimum. If you can find someone that works like Bellamy, then you can find yourself a way to increase your damage output. Alright, that being said, this would be it for DEX version, DEX Boss version. We'll move on to the next one, which is the PSY Luffy and Law. Okay, so PSY Luffy and Law again. Right here. These are the gimmicks that we have to go through. Alright, let's just start. I'm not going to go through introduction again. So, 6 turns of Despair. Despair would be taken care of by Luffy Captain. Full batch is going to be easy. And Attack Down would be taken care of by Corazon Special. Chain at 1.1, Bellamy Special, he would get rid of that. So, activated 3 characters special. Well, actually 2 characters special. Boom, boom. And then hit and clear stage 2 for those who has full batch. If you don't have, and then getting to stage 3, the 5 turns special limit used at 4 times. You know, Luffy and Corazon has the potential ability. If you just upgrade them, you can get rid of this easily, and then you don't have to worry about how many special you can launch. Right. Then next, you have to launch Bellamy. Oh yeah, launching Bellamy from stage 2, the off boost get carry over to this stage. So this is something you really want to avoid. The 98 turn slot boost 1.1. This is actually doing bad for you. So you want the off boost from stage 2 to carry over to stage 3. So when they try to apply this, it will not be applicable. Okay, because you already have off boost. Right. And then 5 turn attack down if change is less than 2. Yeah, we don't care about that. We're basically gonna hit higher than 2. Make sure that you hit higher than 2. And then intimidate base attack up 1 turn. Yeah, reduce base attack up. We're not gonna worry about that. And then 3 turns attack down with int slot. Again, we're not gonna worry about that because hopefully we're not having int slot. Okay, it seems like they have these coming out because they don't want you to use Blackbeard team, Blackbeard int. Anyway, but if you use Blackbeard int, you'll have to deal with this. Right, next is 6 turn of threshold. I said I'm using Lucy special, which is right here, to take care of that. Easy peasy. And then 60 damage and 100k damage here. These are something that I'm not sure. If you're looking in the phone screen here, let me show you real quick. I myself not quite understand what the heck it means, but you can see here. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention that on stage 3 there are several levels. The one I show in the table, I picked it from level 31 above. Okay, so I'm talking about this one. Sorry, I'm not right here. Sorry. See, you see those 2 lines there saying 60,000 damage and 100,000 damage. Wait, yeah, 100,000 damage. I'm not exactly sure. Is that why did they split? Or this is preemptive, so it should be like 160,000 damage when you enter stage 3, but I don't understand why they split into 2 lines there. Or is this the 6,000 damage? Is that includes? I don't understand. Anyway, but I'm gonna assume that there's gonna be some direct damage when you enter stage 3. So because you already activate Corazon Special, and Corazon Special provide you with Rainbow Shield of 80% for 3 turns, so you still have that active. And so the 160k damage will be prevented by 80% because of that. So you have Corazon, it should be okay. And 11 turns of burn. This is something quite tough, but with full batch, 2 Luffy, you launch Luffy special twice. Yours and your friend Captain, that should take care of 11 turns burn. Okay, and then last one is 7 turn heals. If you heals, you deal damage, and you don't care. Basically, you don't heal. And then here I make sure that put in information about interruption. Do not use anyone to put Rainbow Shield on stage 3. Otherwise, you're gonna get something crappy, nasty. And don't put any threshold defense as well. And do not set chain multiplier. However, I really think that this only focus on special. If you launch special that set chain multiplier, that will trigger the interruption. However, if the set chain multiplier or chain booster is triggered by support, I think that should be fine. So that might be another way to increase your chain, to boost chain multiplication. You might want to use the support. Then next is he's gonna, once he's dead, once you hit and he's dead, and then he's gonna revive himself for 3 million HP, and then he's gonna swap middle right character to become a captain, and then he gives empty slot. And that is why this team here, it is important to put Corazon and at the mid right position, so he can be swapped to become a captain, and he gives something good about having empty slot. So that being said, put Corazon on the mid right, and then you should be able to clear stage 3 easily. Right, for full batch. Now, for non-full batch, what I have here is that, again, you're gonna assume that you have friend captain as Luffy, so that he will take care of the 6th turn of despair in stage 2. And then what I have here is the Corazon. Actually, I didn't really think about the position here. So I have Corazon, I have Sentomaru, already mentioned about him, and then I have Neptune, and then Pirona and Moria. Okay, so Corazon here, these Corazon here, if you activate his special, he will take care of this 5 turn change multiplication at 1.1. He'll get rid of that, and he will also reduce 4 turns of attack down, but it's not enough, right? So that's why I said we need to launch Neptune special again to reduce attack down. So get rid of it completely. And then I said you need to launch Sentomaru special on stage 2 as well. So that, why? Because Sentomaru will provide you Rainbow Shield for 3 turns, just like Corazon. 3 turns of Rainbow Shields at 80%, and he will give you some other attack bonus as well. So that's why I put him there, to make sure that you have his special activated to prevent these damage. Okay, so that's important. Neptune, why do we have to have Neptune? Anyone else could be fine, but I chose Neptune because of this. He gave you slot boost, even though it's not much, but it's 3 turns. And slot boost 3 turns, there's not many characters out there, and he's also Cerebral. Slot boost, Cerebral, 3 turns, not many characters, and he also do attack down. So that's why he fits perfectly. If you have his slot boost 3 turns, then you don't have to worry about this being applied to you. Okay. Yeah, his slot boost, although it's not much, it's still better than 1.1, I guaranteed. And then the rest are pretty much the same. You have Lucy special to get rid of threshold on stage 3, and then for burn on stage 3, you have your friend Captain Dofi, get rid of it 7 turns, and then Pirona and Moria here will help you get rid of another 5 turn extra. So that should be taken care of. And yeah, you don't heal. Actually, you healed already on stage 2, so don't heal on stage 3. I put her here, Stussy, because she give chain multiplication boost by 0.6, even though she also give you like 5,000 HP healing. That's going to turn out to become a damage 5,000, but should be alright. Because that's a trade-off with 0.6 of chain multiplication boost, which is, I think it's good. Alright, that being said, later on he's going to swap. I think I might swap this Pirona and Moria to my middle right, because they are very good captain and they give higher boost than Corazon. So we'll swap him here, and hopefully with that we'll still be able to hit 3 millions. We'll see. I don't think we have to do anything else otherwise, but again, we don't have the event running right now, so can't really test. But I really think that this should be able to carry you through level 30. At least you should be able to reach level 30 with this team. Alright, now that's done for the 2 normal boss. Next is the real thing. So when you're playing Super Boss, KIZUNA event, Super Boss is really tough. And unfortunately, to be able to beat Super Boss, you kind of have to have a certain team. And that certain team has to have very good synergy, works well together, boosts a lot of damage, while at the same time dealing with all the gimmicks that Super Boss has giving out to you. So it's a lot more challenging to come up with a team to play with Super Boss. Here I have 2 teams that I came up with that probably gonna do a lot of damage. Maybe still need some improvement, but feel free to copy if you can have this team. I bet most of us might be able to, not most, I say many of us might be able to build this team if you have all the 5 elders plus Garling. So this is the team I'm using. And there's a sequence that you have to follow as well. So for Super Boss strength type, on stage 2 we have 3 turns of defense up, and this defense is really high. I'm talking about 10 million. I don't really know what the unit is, but 10 million of defense, that's a lot. And then we have 3 turns of top and middle roll special bind, 7 turn of convert healing to damage, so you can't heal here. You don't want to use special that activate healing. Okay, and then you get 25% health cut, and then 5 turns of burn, and then interrupt. If you set chain multi, then they will remove all your benefit, and they will give you 10 turns of slot attack down. So all slot will become attack down by 90%, 10 turns, and that's really bad. So you don't really want to activate chain multiplication. Don't want to trigger this interruption. So turn 2. So with this team, let me explain a little bit. I'm using Saturn as the captain, and then basically the 5 elders except Nasturo, because I'm gonna use Nasturo as my friend captain. Nasturo will become a support for Garling. Yeah, I plugged in Garling and Nasturo becomes a support. Garling has his special will deal with special bind, and he himself prevent special bind. I'm 10 turns, I think. So 7 turn of 3 turns of special bind, or maybe 7 turns. Not sure about the number, but anyway, with this applied to your team, Garling will probably be freed of special bind. You will use his special, as I said, number 1. Use Garling special, and then the support of Nasturo here will take care of the 3 turns of defend up. Okay, and then you don't have to worry about too much about this one, and you don't care about 25% health cut. Yeah, just let them cut. But this 5 turns of burn. So at this point, I don't know. Stage 2, I don't really know if we can, hit stage 2 boss, mini boss. I'm not sure if we can hit him and kill him with just great, with just tapping great. If you tap perfect, then you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna hurt yourself. So if you can tap only great, you know, 6 characters, all tap great. Will that be sufficient? Would that be enough to kill him? If it does, then you want to do that. If it does not, then you might want then we will have to activate Saturn Special. So that Saturn Special, once it's activated, he will give attack up, and then at the end, because we are meeting the requirement, meaning all the 5 elders are shown up. So he will activate the healing above limit, and once healing above limit is fulfilled, the Valkyrie and many other elders will be able to launch EX Super, and that's when you want to launch the Valkyrie EX Super to get rid of the 5 turns burn, and then you hit. So that being said, this is the way you want to do it. However, if later on we figure out that only tap great 6 times will kill this guy on stage 2, then we might want to do that, because Saturn Special still could be meaningful or something. We'll see. Yeah, on stage 3. Alright, so that's all we done on stage 2. Move on to stage 3. Mid roll will be bind by 10 turns. Mid roll. So assume that these 2 cannot be used anymore, but we already activated Garling. So Garling Special's gone. Right now we only have his EX super type. So his super type cannot be activated, and Mars cannot be activated. That's why we have to unlock them. I forgot. Okay, maybe have to rearrange this. I might have to put Mars down here, because Mars is the next one that I need to use special. Okay, so keep in mind, want to switch this position. Okay, so Mars be down here and put Jupiter up here so that he will be bind. Let's see. So Mars is the next one. So we don't care about slot change slot to quick, because Mars Special will change slot to tandem. Right. So you want to activate it, Mars Special. So Mars Special is activated. He will get rid of Chain Max 1.1. He will also apply Chain Max Min and Chain Boost. I'm not sure, but he will take care. You don't have to worry about this as well. It'll be gone. Alright, and so this reduce 1 turn of base, take attack up. This is there because to deal with Blackbeard team. So since we are not using Blackbeard team, this should be fine. We don't have to care about that. Change slot to quick, we don't care about that. And then quick slot attack down, we don't care about that, because we're gonna have tandem slot. So the drawbacks about Mars is that once you activated Mars Special, he will put delay, and therefore we have to deal with the delay. So if you activated delay onto the enemy, then he will put 10 turns of defense up, and in 1 turn of barriers, quick slot 4 times. So fortunately, Mars EX can take care of the 1 turn of barriers. Right, so you activated Mars EX after that, and then, oh, by the way, I didn't put it here, but whatever you delayed him by how many turns, that would get cancelled. All right, then that's what you would do. You activated Mars EX, and then you activated Valkyrie Special to get rid of the binds. So these 2 characters in the middle, well, we already swapped Jupiter right here. Yeah, Jupiter and Garling will be freed. So after you activated Valkyrie Special, get rid of all the binds, and then you want to what's next? Yeah, your friend Captain Nasjuro, activate his special. He will get rid of this 10 turns of defense up. Okay, and then the rest is activate everyone. Once you activate everyone's special, all the gimmicks are dealt with. Your Nasjuro will basically be the last guy to hit. So the hit sequence, yeah. Saturn give you Rush, and then Garling, and then Jupiter, and then Mars, and then Valkyries. I put Valkyries the last one because he is the only quick, and quick has some, you know, quick driven will hit harder than everyone else. And yeah, and then the last guy to hit is Nastiro because he has final tap. Right, so this team depends on your level, the level of your 5 elders. If you're 150, will do a lot of damage. We will have Rush, we will have Tandem, we will have Tandem Boost, we will have, you know, the driven break limit. We will have, hold on. Maybe I gotta check one thing. Garling has 10. Oh, okay, never mind. Garling has final tap. I thought he has Tandem. No, he has final tap. So, but we're not going to use his final tap. Nastiro's final tap is way better. So yeah, keep everything as it is. Let me double check real quick. Oops. The Valkyrie has the. Oops, wrong. Super Boss. Change order. There you go. Valkyrie. He has the potential, yeah. Yeah, he has damage limit break class, meaning the higher number of driven characters in your team, then the higher level limit break will get boost, basically. So this team should be able to do more than, I think, from previous Super Boss game, you should be able to do something more than 10 trillion. It depends on level of your team and depends on the level of the sockets that you have on each characters. But all in all, this team should work, I think. And feel free to use it. And if you have any, if you think of something that you can improve this and you want to share with me, feel free to comment. I really want to listen to your guys' opinion. All right. The next team, which is the last team, the Super Boss Int. Let me expand this real quick. Yeah. The Super Boss Int. This team, I think I'm going to be using the Blackbeard team. The Blackbeard, sorry. I'm going to be using the Blackbeard team to deal with this team, Int. Why? Because once I read this, anyway, we'll come back to that later. So these are the gimmicks Super Boss Int is giving you, and the weakness is driven. However, Blackbeard is built around Powerhouse, but many of the characters are driven. So half of the team are driven, but all team members are Powerhouse. So as you can see here, I'm using Friend Captain as Blackbeard's versus, okay, because he boosts Powerhouse. So, and I'm using one thing important to note is that I'm using Frankie Quick. Frankie that came out end of month batch last month. He is phenomenal in terms of final tap, and that is why I'm going to be using him. Blackbeard team here is lacking of final tap characters, which could mean something. Could it mean that the final tap characters still not coming out yet for Blackbeard team? I don't know, but because we don't have that, and that's why Frankie comes into play. So Frankie himself boosts Powerhouse, and luckily everyone here is Powerhouse, so I can use Frankie as my captain. Alright, so what we're going to deal with on stage 2. 7 turns of top row bind. This is fun because this is challenging. Give us a lot of thing to think about. It says down here, usually bind is not easy to remove, right? But it says down here that it will be interrupted if you recover the bind. So I'm like, what does it mean by if you recover? If you recover, sometimes Bandai's just said, if you recover the bind by your special, like if you use your crewmate's special to get rid of the bind during the game, then it will trigger this. Or, so I have a questions like, What if it's automatically, you know, removed? I didn't use special. Would that trigger? So that's what I don't know. But anyway, I put Frankie here, and Frankie's captain does say that if you have 5 egghead arc characters in your crew, in your team, it's going to remove 3 turns of bind. And that 3 turns of bind plus the bind active power here, another 3 turns, that is total of 6 turns. That means I only have 1 turn left. So that being said, my captains are now both have 1 turn by left. We might be able to try to put any support right here to remove bind and see what happens. If we remove bind completely without using any special, would that trigger this or not? So that's what I don't know, and I might try one time, you know, wasting my Super Boss KIZUNA ticket to see if it's true or not. This is something I'm not sure. That's why I put a question mark there. However, the 1 turn bind on the top row, we might keep it there just for now for this explanation. We'll keep it there, 1 turn bind, and we'll see what happens, because once we pass 1 turn, we enter stage 3. We don't have to worry about 1 turn bind anymore. It's gonna be cancelled. Yeah, it's gonna be cleared off after that, right? But the thing is, on stage 2, it said slot, it will change to recovery slot, and then it will do 50% HP cut, and then it will do, if you happen to use recovery to heal yourself, then it will deal damage instead. So you can't use recovery. Basically, you gotta hit perfect, which is not that hard, right? Anyway, right here is, we are going to use Van Auger special, and so it will swap Vasco and Frankie, and that means we get our captain will become Vasco. We will get some captain boost back, so Frankie will be down here instead. But your friend Captain Blackbeard, he will not activate his captain ability or anything. We will basically lose the 6 times boost on the powerhouse attack, but we will gain back Vasco, and Vasco is chosen because Vasco's captain ability will give recovery slot becomes matching slot. That's why I choose Vasco, and Vasco will boost all the powerhouse team. So everyone will have at least 5 something boosting, and hopefully with just Van Auger special, that is sufficient to kill stage 2. That's something I don't know, but hopefully it does. Oh, by the way, I put a what his name, Pizarro, rare recruit here. If you have him, put him in there, because once you use Van Auger special, he will give a boost to int character. So except Frankie, he will not get boost, but this will boost slot by 1.5. So that's the extra damage boost. So hopefully with him and him, you should be able to kill stage 2 and move on to stage 3. So stage 3, once you get into stage 3, remember that your Vasco is still your captain, and this is the second reason you want Vasco Shot to be your captain in coming into stage 3, because Vasco will convert the 3 turns of burn to slot boost. Okay, and then you will want to, and once you enter stage 3, your friend Captain Blackbeard should be freed from bind, because there was just 1 turn left. So he will use versus to change all the crew slot to own type. So probably in and then quick, yeah, and then he will cut HP by 60%. At this point, we are at like something 30%, so the HP guard hasn't been activated yet. And then you use Van Auger super class Remember, the sequence is important. You don't want to use Van Ogre Superclass before Blackbeard versus, because you want to have tandem slot on Van Ogre. He is the one that give you tandem ability. So yeah, that's why the sequence is important. Use Van Ogre's Superclass here so that he swap back Frankie and then and Vasco, and then change himself to tandem, and he put defense to 0, go through immunity. So the boss here will get defense to 0, and then he add 0.3 to attack up on any special launch after this. So after Van Ogre Superclass, then you activated Blackbeard, because activating Blackbeard special will give you attack up and that will get plus 0.3 from Van Ogre Superclass here. Alright, so do all this in sequence, and then 7 turns chain multi growth blade. This will be taken care by San Juan special, which you activated number 7. But next one you activated Vasco. Vasco shot special 2 times. Actually, yeah, activate special class, super class, and his special twice, and activates Frankie's special and then super class. Change his wait, hold on. Yeah, you activated Vasco's special. I think your HP should be reduced less than 25%. Therefore, you can activate Frankie super class, super class, to change his op to super bomb. Then he can hit final tap, right? And then Katarina, you can and then Katarina and San Juan, you activated them special. Actually 7 and 8 can be swapped, doesn't really matter at that point. So at that point you activate everyone. Oh, one thing is that when you activated Vasco special, he will give you type boost, and therefore it will trigger this. So boss will change to Psi type, and as you can see, everyone except Frankie is int, and this is why this team is, I feel like Bandai decided out this way so that we have to use Blackbeard team to be able to generate the most damage to this super boss. So yeah, activate Vasco will trigger this, and then boss will change to Psi type. Yeah, and then another interruption is that activate attack based on Rainbow Shield, then all the beneficial will be removed. So this is there, I think, if you remember Doflamingo. So basically they don't want you to use Doflamingo here on this team, right? So we don't have Doflamingo, luckily, so we don't have to worry about this. Then yeah, everyone is activated, super class, specials, everything is activated. At this point you should have tandem offs on him, you should have super bomb on him, and then the rest should have in ops, right? And then you just hit. The sequence would be this way: Blackbeard, Van Ogre to activate it, Blackbeard, Van Ogre, get that tandem, and then this guy, San Juan Wolf, and then Vasco, and then Katarina, and then finish with Frankie. Yes. So hopefully this team, again, this team damage depends on several things. First is the level of your characters. So if they're all 150, it's gonna be even higher. This next thing is the level of the ops special potential ability, like tandem, like tandem boost, like the limit break on class in this case is powerhouse, and then the final tap on Frankie. So again, I think if you have everything maxed, you should be able to do more than 10 trillion, 15, 20 trillions possible. But all in all, you should be able to do high damage with this team. And that will be it for Super Boss team. As of now, I only come up with these 2 teams, one team for each Super Boss. But I really do think that these two teams for Super Boss are probably the most optimal, the most team that could generate the team that could generate the most damage to the Super Boss. So if you have any ideas or any comments or anything you think I missed or improvement points, feel free to give me any comment. Feel free to shout out to me. I'll answer. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.